Of course, I want to see what have they done. You can't come to me and say that you're going to take over my social media marketing and ads and bring me more online clients, but you don't have 10,000 followers. You only got 1,000 or 5,000 followers, right? But I'm supposed to trust you and give you thousands of dollars a month for you to be able to do that for me. So I decided, well, I'm very interested in that business, but I can't do that business in good faith until I go out and do it for myself. So I said, you know what? I'm going to start learning how to do organic content and building an audience. And that segued into, okay, a YouTube channel. Now, at this point in time, the businesses that I had actively going on when I first became a YouTuber was my independent courier service, which was my bread and butter and how I was able to pay the bills and everything that I had going on. That business gave me so much disposable income that I started investing in the things to resell. And I learned about eBay and Mercari. And I learned about Amazon, but really the only thing that I consistently sell through Amazon are the books that I publish myself, because I learned that on Amazon, unless you do the FBA program, which is the Fulfillment by Amazon program, you're never going to get the buy box. The buy box is if you go to Amazon, and I'm sure all of you have went to Amazon before, and you find a product that you want to buy, you'll just click add to cart. That's in a box, right? And you click add to cart. That's in your cart. Then you go check out. What most people don't ever do, or maybe you didn't even know you could do it, is that you could click a drop down and you could pick what seller you buy it from. Now, it may be the same price or it may be a different price. Most people on Amazon never click the drop down option and pick somebody else other than whatever the default is in that box. All right. So that is the buy box. If you don't do Amazon FBA, you'll never win the buy box for any product on Amazon. So at that point in time, I really didn't want to do the FBA program because I had an extra bedroom, I had an extra closet, and even though people were saying it's not that expensive to store things, I'm like, it's free if I just put it across the hall from where I was staying at the time and just let it sit there. So it's not free to send it to FBA, but it's free if I leave it across the hall. So that being the case, once I learned that, I said, well, I'm not gonna do Amazon. I'm gonna do eBay, and then later I found out about Mercari. So I was an independent courier, I was a reseller, and then I started my own private label website, which was called beingthebest.com, where I did merchandising. For everybody that got here late, in this live stream that this originates as on my Instagram, what we're talking about is the backstory leading up to uh, why I am now going by JT Automations on my main channel, right? So going back to the point, um, I had these businesses going, but I was generating traffic through paid ads. I was spending anywhere upwards of $1,300 a month to generate traffic to my private label store, because this was before I had any followers or any brand or anything like that. The eBay system, I wasn't running any ads. I was just playing the eBay game and only buying fast moving items at the time. So I didn't pay anything to market on eBay. I just learned eBay, played the system, and got really good at it. Made enough money off of eBay to pay all of my bills. At the same time, my independent courier service was making great money. So
The industry's leading collection of essential DVD creator tools. It's an all-in-one toolkit at your fingertips.
great money. So all of these things are going on. An issue happens in my primary source of income, which was my independent courier service at the time. And now I said, you know what? I'm still doing okay, but I don't want to stay in this situation. I'm looking for alternatives. And then I said, you know what? I came across this guy, Ty Lopez. He was everywhere telling everybody they should start this business. I said, well, before I go out and start telling companies, let me do your marketing, let me try to market for myself and play around with some organic stuff. I already knew paid ads a little bit, but I didn't like how expensive it was, or at least at the time I felt like $1,300 a month was very expensive. Now I was making more than that in profit per week, but that was where I was at mentally. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna get into YouTube. I was following a lot of YouTubers. They seemed to be making great money, and they were working with brands. They would do sponsored videos from here and there. So I said, I'm gonna go try to figure out YouTube, learn YouTube, but the JT Hustles was my second channel. I started two channels to test it out. One channel was more so of like just being funny, because a lot of people that I was watching was like for escapism. So I was watching little silly channels, little funny channels, but I liked them. So I started one channel that was just all about trying to do little silly stuff, make people laugh, make people tune in. And then I started the JT Hustles channel, which was more so trying to teach people about the business side of it. I did several videos for each channel, and then I just focused on rebuilding my courier business for a while. And then I just came back a little while later, and I just saw what the data said. Well, the channel where we were doing the funny content, it didn't grow at all. However, the channel where I was talking about being an independent courier, it was growing at a pretty decent rate at the time for a small YouTuber. Of course, somebody just starting out. So I deleted, well, not deleted, but I pretty much discontinued focus on the first channel and put all of my efforts into the JT Hustles channel. Now, the name JT Hustles was originally going to be JT Does Side Hustles, and I put a Z at it, a Z on the end of hustles instead of a S, because in the South, right, we say things a little bit funny. So I know people that are from the South or know people from the South. It will resonate with them either consciously or subconsciously when you put a Z where an S was. So my target audience was for people like me that wanted to be independent couriers, but you didn't want to go broke and homeless to figure out the game and then hopefully crawl back. But by the grace of God, that was my story, and that's how I made it back. And also, it was for dope dealers, right? I tell this story all the time, but for the benefit of anybody that's new that never heard me say it, my family was split. So my father left my mother when I was pretty young, and my father's side of the family was out in the streets doing illegitimate hustles, but they made a lot of money doing it, and by the grace of God, nobody went to prison for the rest of their life or got killed out there in that life like all the statistics say. But they didn't do it for forever either. My mother's side of the family, where I was my entire childhood,